Heaven's Daily Devotional, written by Pastor E.A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God Worldwide. Today, Wednesday, May 1st, 2024. Topic: Trust God. Memory verse: Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Bible reading. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 8. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. Today's message. Many people who claim to trust God with all their hearts surprisingly depend on their own understanding and attempt to strategize their way through life. The question, however, is, how deep is our understanding? Do we understand as much as God does? You must understand that two captains cannot be in charge of a ship at the same time. It is either you let God take the wheels of your life, or you leave him out of it. You cannot be in the driver's seat and only remember God anytime you run into trouble. You must trust him totally and rely on him for everything. If you are truly a child of God, you must always be led by him. Romans chapter 8, verse 14. Trusting God does not start out easy. He will work on you, and as he leads you, he will mold and shape you to become a better person. When you trust God to lead you, everything you touch prospers. Abraham was a man who trusted God completely, and he prospered greatly. He left everything he ever knew for a land that God said he would show him. He left without a plan. He was determined to trust God all the way. Shortly after, he grew so big that he had 318 men who could go to war with him, living under his roof. Genesis chapter 14, verse 14. He was so rich that he rejected a king's gift so that the king would not take glory for his prosperity. When you trust someone, you don't ask unnecessary questions. When you board a plane, you trust that the pilot knows what he is doing and that he will take you safely to your destination. You don't ask to see his license or inspect the condition of the plane. If you can trust human beings with your life that much, how much more the Most High God? I learned to trust God very early in my Christian walk because my Sunday school teacher taught me that if a son is at the top of a high place and his father asks him to jump, he will not ask questions because he knows that his father will catch him. The moment I learned that, I began to trust God so much that once he says jump, I jump, knowing that he will catch me. Everything we have achieved in the Redeemed Christian Church of God to date has been purely based on trust. When he says, move, I move. No arguments. Action point. Trust God with all your heart and stop leaning on your own understanding. A blessed morning to you. Do have a fruitful day in Jesus' name. Our hymn from the Open Heavens devotional for today is hymn 30. When we walk with the Lord. Be inspired as you listen.
When we walk with the Lord in the light of his word, what a glory he sheds on our way. While we do his good will, he abides with us still, and with all who will trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey. Not a shadow can rise, not a cloud in the skies, but his smile quickly drives it away. Not a doubt nor a fear, not a sigh nor a tear can abide while we trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey. Not a burden we bear, not a sorrow we share, but our toil he doth richly repay. Not a grief nor a loss, not a frown nor a cross, but is blessed if we trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey. But we never can prove the delights of his love until all on the altar we lay. For the favor he shows and the joy he bestows are for those who will trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey. Then in fellowship sweet we will sit at his feet, or will walk by his side in the way. What he says we will do, where he sends we will go. Never fear, only trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey.